Morning, everybody. It is another episode of the great old YouTube build-off between us and Blockhead Moto, brought to you by Harley Davidson, and today is a big one. We kind of skipped you on a little bit of stuff. June went on vacation. We had to get this done because it's going to Dyno today. So we already put in the Harley Davidson water-cooled Stage 4 135 in the 2024 Street Glide. We did all that assembly, we went through some things. This motor is much different than the other 135, the air-cooled one they just came out with. This makes about 15 more horsepower, about 15 more foot-pounds out of the box than the regular 135, which that one's pretty nasty too. We did one in the other bike that we built, that 23 Road Glide. It was a very nice, powerful motor. But this guy has big oval ported heads, big CNC ported heads. The water-cooled makes the thing a little bit better, of course. You're going to make more power with water-cooled. It also has a bigger cam now. It has a 550 cam, which we were going to put an S&S 550 cam in it, but it already has a 550 lift cam, so we're pretty much just going to tune it, let her eat, and see what she does. I've already ran 3 heat cycles on it. We're going to run one more, try and push some map into it to get it to run good enough to get it up to Trask to ride it up there, because I don't really want to pull the trailer out and hook a trailer up and all that, because it is like 100 and, let me give you an accurate one. It is 8:30 a.m. in Phoenix. Oh, it's only a sultry 90 degrees, but it was raining last night, so that is a very, very sultry 90 degrees. And today's high, oh, let's see here. Oh, it's gonna be pretty cool today. It's only gonna be 106. We got a cold front of 106 with partially cloudy. We're going to have a heat wave moving in right after that. It'll be about a 115 to really dry everything out and get rid of all that stickiness. Actually, it's just going to turn everything into stickiness. It's going to be wonderful. But to go over everything, I don't know. There's not much to cover. We put a motor in. It was extremely easy. The 24 is so much easier to work on, not having any oil lines or any of that shit. It literally just pulls in and out just like a twin cam. It was really nice. You do still have to pull the pivot shaft for the swing arm and pull the transmission back like an inch just to clear the front of the frame. Other than that, she's pretty dialed. I put this little universal heat cover on there because I kept melting my shoes on the pipe when I was sliding the bike around. But right now we've got a stealth pipe, S&S intake on there. We've got some Legends arcs. I just mounted these guys on the back, which these mounts do not clear the factory tail lights, which I'm going to run those at Sturgis, but we're just going to cut these guys into them and kind of make it work. I don't have time to build the back half because we leave for Sturgis next week. So she's just going to get done, get rideable, so I can ride it out there, do the rides to Rushmore, maybe do a little bit of stunt riding on it at the lot at the shows, but should mostly just be a big old burnout machine out there. And our tire machine in our trailer only does up to a 17-inch rim, and that's an 18, so I'm kind of screwed there because I'm going to need to bring tires and change tires, and I don't have tires because 18s are expensive. So building a drift bike with really expensive rear tires was not the best idea. So that being said, we're going to roll this thing outside. I'm going to fire it up, run one more heat cycle, and we can push a map into this. Try and run a couple just learn idles. We've been idling and heat cycling, and hopefully we've got enough data from that to push a little correctable map in there, and I can ride it up to Trask, which is about 15 minutes from here. It's not too bad. We also put a Trask Performance chain drive on it just because we had the primary part and we needed to get a chain drive on it, and we did it. It's a cush drive, but we still have the stock cam adjusters on the axle, which are the worst shit on the planet. Especially if you put a chain drive, they don't line up, and they always, as soon as you give it gas, they just, yeah, and they just pull the axle forward. They never ever work with a chain drive. You always have to switch those things out. Or Big Bear makes like a cheap lock kit you can put on there, but we always run the PM axle adjusters, which they've been ordered. They just haven't got here yet. We have to wait for parts just like you guys have to wait for parts sometime. It's everybody gets the same treatment, even us. Those will be here soon. Then that thing will be locked in, but I don't think, honestly, it's going to be street rideable yet. We need to get it tuned. Our wheels are at powder coat right now, and then we're going to hard mount it and eliminate this whole situation back here, and we'll have the right adjusters and everything hopefully by Sturgis. and she'll be ready to rip. We'll pop in a learned map, which isn't going to be much. It's only going to be learning off of idle and what it saw off of like 3 times of idling up to temp. Hopefully it's enough that I can just baby it on up there, because like I said, I don't want to hook up a trailer right now. It's hot. It's horrible outside. Horrible. Sorry to interrupt this program real quick. I want to talk to you guys about the giveaway bike we're doing right now. It is the Stunt Tail. If you don't know what the Stunt Tail is, go to our playlist Stunt Tail. You can watch the whole build on this thing. We just got a new Thundermax for it. We have a new Saddleman on the way, a new RCS 19. All the things that are a little beat up because it is a old Road Warrior kind of apocalyptic style is how we wanted to do it. Those things are going to get changed. But the gas tank, the dents, the scratches, the scuffs, the brakes, it's all staying the same. Still going to be chrome on gold up front. It is an apocalyptic style bike. That was the style. But this could be yours, boom, for only $5. Every $5 you spend on cruisyoriginals.com enters you in a chance to win a really rad motorcycle. Thank you very much. We're going to see how she runs with a little map push. And I'm going to take a little spin around the block, make sure everything holds together, and then we're going to head for Trask. I'm just going to let this thing cycle up till it gets about 200 degrees in the cylinders. I got a little heat gun. I'm going to check everything, do all that stuff. We'll let this warm up, then I'll shut her down, check everything, we'll head for Trask. It feels good. I rolled it through like 4,000 and everything, like, it's good. It's not sputtering. Actually, the Thundermax is pretty miraculous. We did some idle learns, and this is tuned for a 117 with a pretty big cam. But we just did some idles off of that tune and then pushed what it learned off of those 3 idle sessions into what it is now, and it ran good. Idle's good, runs smooth. Bigger injectors, everything, but it's figuring it out. It's not pinging, it's not sputtering, there's no dead spots. It just pulled smooth and hard. Those things, the axle didn't slip. I'm just gonna have to be real easy on it. It's probably gonna slip that axle as soon as they crank on it in the dyno, but I'm gonna check the oil, make sure those levels are good, and we're gonna leave. That's it. Yo, here we are, we're back at Trask. I'm here with Nick, we're about to throw it on the dyno. I just kind of want to give Nick a rundown on what the motor is. This is probably the first real dyno pull, besides Blockhead's already done one, but he didn't have exhaust, didn't have an intake. He had all the stock stuff on the 135 water-cooled motor. He made low 140s, low 150s with a stock exhaust and everything. This has a 550 cam in it, it has bigger heads, it's got a 70 mil throttle body, bigger injectors. I think it's got bigger valves, and it's water-cooled. What's your guesses?
148, 156.
148, 156?
We'll see.
That's pretty good.
$5.
All right, $5 if Nick's right. I don't know what I'm calling him. I'm thinking about the same amount of numbers, but I think we can get into the 150s maybe. If we don't hit 150s, 5. What do you guys think? Comment down below right now. Throw your guesses. If you're right, you're right.
I would think we'd be able to get in the 150s. Say 150 horse, probably 160 torque, I would guess. 160 torque would be pretty badass, but...
Yeah, nuts. Mullet's cleaned up, ready to go. Looking as beautiful as can be. Ready to throw down some power numbers. We've done at least 3 full heat cycles on this thing.
Ready to tag the limiter a few times.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I broke in the Nightster. I put 30 miles on it and then about 850 limiter hits, and
Perfect.
She was pretty broke in. Harley's making pretty good stuff these days. At least we'll see. We're gonna start this thing off with something that is close to home for me. It's kind of the whole beginning of where I came from and where Kruesi Originals sort of started, at least my career started. And that was with Trask Performance working for Nick right here in 2009, the whole beginning. I was going to MMI and I got in a bad motorcycle wreck and blew my nuts in half. And then I was at school the next day in a wheelchair with one of my nuts the size of a golf ball, or actually like a big black orange. You know, and I used to show it to everybody. And they had called MMI looking for somebody that they thought, the instructor, oh God, Frank Quiz, remember him? Hit him up and said, hey, you got any prospects over there that would look good, or somebody that we could take on and train? And he's like, I got the dude. He blew one of his nuts up and didn't miss a day of school. And then I came in, interviewed several times, called you like every single day for about a month until I ran into you at the Hideaway, and Nick said, come in on Monday, I want to talk to you. So I showed up Monday in a button-up shirt, and Nick handed me a list of chores. Said, get to work, start with the rubbish. I was like, shit, I am in the wrong clothes for this. Just had to top off a little radiator fluid. We topped it off, but then I rode it and got things cycling. Had like, it was like this low. A little tiny bit, like, because I know a lot about water-cooled bikes and all, but, you know, here we go.
The main thing I think would be limiting is for one the size of the air cleaner.
Yeah.
You got a big old hog with throttle weight, big old cam. It's going to want to suck a lot of air in. And we might sacrifice a little bit with the pipe because it's not a huge pipe, you know, especially with this much air. You want a, you know, a big old collector on it and everything. I still think we'd be able to get 150 out of it. It might lay over on the top, but
man, it feels powerful just riding it here with a bad tune and everything. Because like I would hit a bump and the bump of my hand moving like this, it was yeah. Ideally, even if we make less numbers and we could make it smoother, or maybe we pull some good numbers and then just make it more smooth.
mellow it out a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if it's that kind of snappy and I try and wheelie this thing, I'm gonna end up paralyzed. So.
Yeah.
I'd rather not be paralyzed, quite honestly.
That would be ideal.
So we made 130 and 138 with the 117 and a cam, which was very impressive to me. Gonna see how much more power this much bigger motor makes. Much bigger cam too. It's got a 550 stock.
What do we got? What, a 485 in the 117?
Yep. That was a good cam. I'm probably gonna be using the Andrews cams for the bolt-in cams from here on out.
Yeah, that was pretty. I was impressed with that one.
Fucking slap, dude. Like normally when you drift a bike, right? You brake slide in, then you dump it, and you gotta keep her up there, right? This thing, I could dump it and then let it bog almost to a stop, and not even clutch it, just roll the throttle again, and it would just light the tire right back up again immediately. Just limiter.
That's awesome.
It was nasty. A lot to hold on to. A little scary.
Well, hopefully we can make it a little bit worse.
Still has cam adjusters on there. I'm gonna be real surprised if they don't roll forward on us and we lose chain tension. So we gotta keep an eye on that.
Did you notice how little slack you get in the chain?
Yeah.
Did you know we make a product for that?
What do you got?
So we make axle adjusters. It replaces this side that slides off, and it's got a cap that goes on the other side.
Yeah.
And it makes it to where the rest of that cam is actually usable.
Oh,
I think it was in 21 or 22 they changed the cams, and you're either too long or you're too short.
Totally unusable to change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we actually ended up making this product that replaces the cams and makes it to where you can get that little bit extra adjustment you need when you're doing a chain drive on these newer bikes.
We're gonna hard mount it, put a set of our wheels on, and get rid of the cush drive and get it real aggressive too. But also, I don't know if they've got a bigger pulley on the back. They might have a bigger pulley. I haven't looked into that at all.
Yeah, I know they changed something in like 23 because I have a 23 Loader S.
Yeah.
And the gearing on that is slightly different than a 22. 300 RPM difference.
You might have went up just a bigger sprocket in the back, I bet.
Did something different, yeah.
Because the original 6-speeds were way too tall. 6 gear was useless. And then the whole motorcycle career started there, and I started working for Nick as an entry-level mechanic. Weld, taught me how to use machines, do all the machining, everything. I learned a lot about everything from my high performance side of the world, fabrication, everything came out of Trask Performance. And right here I've been blessed to work with great people through my whole career and be taught the right way to do things. I don't care how long you've been doing it, if no one taught you in the beginning the right way to do it, it still means you're doing it the wrong way. And this is Nick Trask.
Hi guys.
How long you been in it, Nick?
Been in business. This will be 25 years coming up.
25 years.
25 years.
Trask has been in business for 25 years.
Yes. Since 2000. We always look for the top guys, and yeah, we did talk to the instructors at MMI back in the day, and we were looking for the top of the guys in their class, the guys that excel, the guys that put the effort in, the guys that are passionate, and Ryan was the guy, and we brought him in. I remember Ryan busting his bag, cleaning the floor back, mopping the floor on Saturdays, right, whatever it took. He was there, he was cleaning. What drove me crazy, he'd sing all the time.
That is a fact.
He'd sing all the time, and he's a terrible singer. So he'd be singing while he's mopping the floor, and right. But I loved his energy and loved his passion. Like I remember, I wouldn't let any of the guys pull motors. Put motors back together. I'd have them pull apart 10 times.
Oh yeah.
Pull the motor apart 10 times, clean it, get it organized, get it staged, and then I'll come through and put it together. And right, and so I remember Ryan. I think the first motor you put together was a Sportster motor.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was after like pulling 10 or 20 of them apart, laying them out the way I wanted.
Felt like 100. Yeah. I did about 2 or 3 heat cycles on it. Nick comes in, he's like, I'm gonna take it for a test ride, and I hear him just beating the shit out of it up and down the road. Bob, 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 Bob. He comes back, he goes, nothing broke. And Mike at the time, he's like, that means you did a good job. I was like, yeah, I made it. And that was the first one. I think my 3rd day here, I tore down a brand new bike. Brought in a brand new bagger for a guy, and we split it down to the flywheels. At one point in my career working here, I could split a motor to the flywheels out of the bike in like 45 minutes. Pull it out of the bike, split it to the wheels, and get down to business. I tore apart so many motors here. You're just kind of getting into the turbo game at that time too. You had the first kits developed.
Yeah, we started with the V-Rod kit back in '04, and we did those. That actually ran that kit. We turbocharged hundreds of V-Rods.
Yep.
And then we started turbocharging the touring bikes in 2007.
The V-Rod, if you've never rode a turboed V-Rod, that's the way they should have came factory.
Bolt-on horsepower.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable pull. I have not rode a turbo bike since I worked here. How many turbo kits do you have now?
We've scaled back on a lot of our part numbers, but we got bolt-on kits. We distribute a turbo kit through Drag Specialties, which is first time ever that anyone's ever put a forced induction kit through distribution in the motorcycle world.
Yep, they've always been specialty items.
And so, yeah, we've got a lot of firsts as far as the turbo game. We're the original guys to do it for Harley Davidsons. Want to do it correctly. There's a lot of guys jumping on now trying to catch us, but good luck.
It did all start here. It is, you used to turbo some side-by-sides and stuff for a while too, but then just decided to stick straight Harley.
Yeah, we tried turbocharging side-by-sides, had an off-road division, had a snowmobile division.
Man, I remember the snowmobiles. Yeah, that was gnarly.
It's kind of hard to test a snowmobile when you're in the middle of Arizona.
I learned how to weld. We bought, was it Sick Brothers? What was the exhaust company?
Wicked Brothers.
Wicked Brothers.
Yeah.
But he bought their exhaust company. They were going out of business, and then the guy came over that owned it, and he taught me how to weld next door and taught me how to use the CNC bender and all that stuff. And I learned how to weld on stainless steel exhaust. If you've ever TIG welded stainless, it's probably the hardest thing you can TIG weld, and then to learn on it. And then that's all I ever welded for the first couple of years. And then when I finally welded normal steel, I was like, holy shit, I've been getting cheated all this time. So it was good. I feel like MMI was high school, and then I came to college at Trask. Is pretty much how that worked out for me.
Yeah, that's usually the way it works, right? You go there to get the fundamentals and the ideas, and then you go to a good shop or go to a good place and learn how to do it in real life.
I worked from 7 to 5, Monday through Friday. I went to school from 5:30 to midnight, Monday through Friday, and then worked Saturdays as long as it took to clean the whole shop every Saturday. For almost the first 2 years I was here, I was in school the whole time.
Yeah.
And then, God, when I got done with school, it was like I was on a vacation, only working 50, 60 hours a week. I have a whole book, like a book that's just blank papers, and every single thing I did, every question I asked of everyone, I wrote all that shit down meticulously.
Yeah, I love it.
Horsepower running super fast with a tuned wrist. Hasn't done anything. That's just the learn maps that we pushed in is what you're running off of at this moment, right?
Yep.
And it made 145 horsepower, 146 foot-pounds of torque. With that map is wrong. It's not good. It was good enough to ride here, but that thing, it was like between 12 and 13. It looked like.
Yeah, see at 3,500 we're 11.4.
Yeah, that's super fast. It smells fast.
Yeah, like we'll gain quite a bit by bringing that up.
150 easy, huh?
I think so.
Easy. Big numbers today, folks. Big number guys. We've just become big number guys now. What is Trask Performance these days?
And we're focusing on developing more turbocharger kits. They're getting more and more simple to bolt on. We can put a turbocharger kit on in 2.5 hours now.
Really?
From start to finish.
Used to be 10.
Used to be 10. So we've fine-tuned it down. We're working on getting to a new facility. It's 3 times the size we have now, so at least we've got something to grow into, and should help with efficiency through our company, and hopefully we make a couple more bucks.
How many employees you got now?
We're on about 42, I think, right now, and we're looking for a couple more.
42. So when I worked here, there was what, 4 of us? 3 of us?
Yeah.
Ron, Mike, me, and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Those are wild times. It was just in the one side over here, and Jeremy had his little fab corner over there next door. It was booming then, and to where you've come now, to the giant semi truck that's parked out front.
Yeah.
And everything that you've accomplished. Nick has always been my role model as far as business and everything in the motorcycle community. Like, you started out grassroots like everyone else too. You didn't come in with nobody's money, no bullshit like that. It was built it all yourself with your own money. You started in a little shop.
Yeah, I've got a little documentary, a little Trask documentary. It's on our YouTube. It's the Alchemist, I think they call it.
It's good, I watched
It is
it.
good. We watched it at the
Decent, right?
shop. Yeah, it's real good.
Good,
We can put the
great.
link down below if you guys want to go check it out. It'll be down in the description.
But you know, I want guys to know where Trask came from. I wanted people to know that we weren't some trust fund baby that just got handed a bunch of money, and we went through the heartache and the pains on growing something from nothing. And the only thing that kept us alive was dedication and passion and never give up. Right? There was 100 times where I wanted to give up. But, there was nothing else I could do. I didn't know how to do anything else, and I'm too stubborn. And I love doing what we do. So
what else would you do?
I could be a male stripper, but I probably wouldn't make much money.
Yeah, I thought about that so many times. Like, what else would I do if I was to leave here? You know, like.
Don't limit yourselves. You could do both, you guys.
I mean, I think Dick's Cabaret closed down. I don't think we got any options left. I think we're going over 150 easy today. Made 145 with a rev limiter set at 58, and you can see the top red line is still climbing hard when it hit limiter. So he just raised it to 64, which will probably take us to 150 just doing that. But he's also cleaning up the tune. The tune was extremely fat. It was at like 11 to 1 at some point, which should be like 13.5 on full throttle-ish.
13.0, 13.2.
13.0, 13.2, around there. So we're way off, and it already made 145 horsepower. Wow. That ain't no twin cam.
Living that big inch life.
Big inch life.
Told you.
Just made 7 more horsepower with just a little bit of work and a limiter raise right there. 151. The torque is lower than I expected.
It's a little lower than I expected too, but I think it's got too much timing in it.
Yeah.
So that'll probably raise that up some. But I expected more too, but you can definitely tell it's more of a top end.
Oh yeah, that's still climbing.
Yeah, it's still going.
Still climbing.
Yeah.
If it can handle RPMs raised limiter, it'd probably just keep on climbing.
For sure. Yeah, because it's not even thinking about tapering out.
What do we do now?
Let it clean up a little bit. We'll do one more run. I want to make sure the whole map is pretty clean, you know. Cruising, it's kind of lean.
Yeah,
It's a lot of places like 15 to 1.
Yeah.
So I want to bring that down. But our wide open throttle is pretty damn close to being dialed in.
Still racing?
And we put a little bit of a holiday right now as far as the racing goes, just because we're moving to this building, and we've got Sturgis coming up next month, and we're going to be moved into this building the month we'll start moving next month. So while we're in Sturgis, the guys are going to start moving. And we've got 3 buildings to move, right? So
that's going to be a massive undertaking right there.
There's construction guys stripping over each other right now, trying to get the building set up. And
you going to do it in stages, or you going to try and blast it all in one time?
Stages. Even on a stage, right? You're moving a whole department.
42 employees. That's quite the stretch from the 4 employees we have at Kruesi Originals. I think 4 is enough stress for me. 42, I think, would be a lot. That'd be some hard sleeping at nights from time to time.
I sleep better now.
What's the trick? The right people, yeah.
The right people.
Right people in the right places.
The right people build your business.
Yeah.
Right? And they build the business not just for us, they build it for everybody.
And being able to let go a little bit.
You gotta let go, you can't micromanage.
Man, that's a hard one, ain't it?
And we're building a company for everybody, so everyone's got a good place to work, everyone's got a safe place, everyone's got a fun place to work, right? And they're not just building it so Nick can get a new boat, they're building it so we can grow.
Yeah, amen. It's got to be fun. My motto with the shop is, if it's not fun, we're not doing it. You know, I want everybody to have a good time. It can be fun. You can make anything fun, anything a good time.
Attitude is everything.
Yep. So what models do you not have a turbo kit for right now? Pan America?
Pan America, we don't have one for. The new sports platform, we don't have a kit for. But we sell so many of the touring kits.
Yeah.
Our 24 kit will be out here shortly. You know, some guys say they can do it, but you know, the tuning's wrong, right? The tuning's not up to.
The 24 is a totally different animal.
Totally different. But yeah, we've got kits for pretty much everything except for those two platforms. And they sell like hotcakes. Guys love them, and they ride them around the country. And we'll go to Sturgis and we'll turbocharge 40 bikes.
I've heard you turbo, you're going to take the life out of your motor. I think when you turbo something, you're not going to take any life out of your motor because it's more efficient.
Well, here's the deal. It's the most dependable way to make power, turbocharging. Because when you're just cruising down the road, you're not putting any more load on the motor. Just cruising. If you're running 90 mile an hour down the freeway, you're running on stock motor.
Yep.
So you keep the dependability of a stock engine. Now when you roll the throttle on, it starts to build boost. That's when you're putting more pressure on the motor. But it's a smooth power. It creeps up on the drivetrain. It's like a rubber band, right? It sneaks up on it. So it's a lot more dependable than building a high compression, big power motor.
It's going to jerk your head off
It's
and
going
on.
to be beating on the motor all the time. Turbochargers are the most dependable way to make power.
You should get pretty good gas mileage with that kind of power and
You'll get
everything
better
too.
gas mileage provided you're not playing with the throttle.
That's just about 155 horsepower.
I'm hoping when I go up a gear, it'll make more torque. That torque is kind of making me sad.
It's weird that it's making less torque than horsepower.
It's definitely a top end cam, and you can see it just wants to keep running. We could probably spin this thing to $7 grand and it'll keep making horsepower.
Spin her up and see what it does.
It's your motor. I don't know what these things are rated to do. I mean, 68, I don't see unreasonable, I don't think.
Maybe we spin her to 168 and see what she does this one time.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
We're at 6,400 RPMs right now, limiter set, and it's still climbing hard. Like it's hitting limiter like this. Normally you want it to hit limiter right when it starts to peak down a little bit, but we don't know how much this motor can handle RPM wise. We want to just keep cranking the limiter up and keep spinning on it and see what happens. It sucked to blow it on the first day, but I don't think we will.
I don't think we will either, but
I think one little spin on her wouldn't be too bad.
we'll get it dialed in, and we'll spin it up and see what it does.
One time.
Yeah, one time. We'll do it one time and see if it's worth it.
One time. She either goes or she don't.
Go or blow.
It's already making 154.38 horsepower, which is nasty. It's making 149.57, so almost 150 foot-pounds, which normally the foot-pounds are higher than the horsepower. That's normally very common. But this thing is, she's a big high revving cam, which makes me think that maybe they set it up to rev higher. I mean, it's still, that's on 64, right? It was just starting to curve down a little bit.
Yeah, about 6,500 is when it started leaning over, so.
Yeah, 64 is a good spot for
Yeah.
it. And which when we're done, probably drop her back down to 6 or something. 58.
I put it back down to 57.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, you pulled, what, 5 foot-pounds out of that?
Yeah, a little more.
What do you say, this is our final numbers?
I would say yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fourth gear?
That was fifth gear, yeah.
Fifth gear?
Yep.
So we got 154.27 horsepower, 154.23 foot-pounds. That's a square motor right there.
That's a very square motor.
That's wild. You don't get that. That's never. Torque is normally considerably more on a Harley Davidson, but I mean 154 and 154, that's an impressive motor. Almost 20 and 20 over what we have with the 117. So we got 24 horsepower and
25 horse and like 15 torque.
that's pretty damn good. 25 horsepower. If you don't know, 25 horsepower in a Harley Davidson is a lot. That's a large, 5 horsepower when gaining in a Harley is a good gain on anything. But 25 is a lot. 100, we're basically, I'm gonna say she's 155 and 155. Average, you roll over.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, we'll take that. 155, 155, that's a monster. I think it's gonna be a real good time.
And that graph looks sweet too. Pulls nice and strong.
Just under 140 foot-pounds at 2,000 RPM. That's how you can bog out of those drifts and just light the tire back on fire, because you've got the equivalent to 2 Honda Civics at 2,000 RPMs right there. Man, I used to drag race an Eagle Talon in like 2000 that made 160 horsepower, and it was a f***ing car. It owes me $5. We just did the tune on the white bike, and it is, he said I had 24 starts and something like 500 and some limiter hits. I've started that bike 24 times. I've smacked the limiter almost 500. So, it's how you ride it.
It just goes to show how dependable the motor is, right?
Yeah, and honestly, I've been impressed. I've been very impressed. There's a lot to come with this 24. There's a lot already happened with this 24 that you guys are going to see as it comes out with the episodes, but it is a new motorcycle, Harley Davidson. Everything that I've rode for the 2024 lineup so far has been extremely impressive. We've got some real big things in the works motor-wise and some real big things in the works Trask performance-wise. So stay posted, like, subscribe, watch the whole series, check out Blockhead Moto, go to traskperformance.com. Trask, you guys got a YouTube.
Yep.
Go check out the YouTube. We'll put the link for the other thing down there, their documentary. Check them out on Instagram. And now I think we'll go take a tour. You want to show us around?
I'll show you around. Show you some of that jump. Made in America, baby.
Looking good, looking good. Oh man, back when magazines were cool. Easy Rider ain't even got naked chicks in it more. I was real disappointed. This is what we talked about at the shop all the time. Back in the day, you used to get your magazine stuff everywhere, and this was the shit. I always wanted a wall full of magazine layouts. And I got in Hot Bike finally, and they literally went out of business like 2 months later. I was like, come on.
It's actually not too bad.
How many machines do you have now?
8.
8?
8, and I've got 2 more coming.
Is that a probes?
It's Jose.
No shit.
Johnny 5 picks it up, changes the part out. And these are our backing plate adapters for our air cleaners and our turbochargers. Yeah, there's the M8 cam cover.
Have you got the 24 cam cover figured out yet? You do?
Yep, we're making some right now.
Really?
Well, let's go to the fab shop. That's just the area that we assemble. Assemble our kits. Right now we're putting kits together for Sturgis, so we're scrambling to get them all built. Plus with our customer kits and all our distributor kits too. So we got shit coming out our ears. Just a bunch of products. We assemble them here and get them on a pallet, ship them to our distributor. All Trask branded stuff. Let's go see where they see weld the stuff.
If this doesn't look familiar, if you have a 2024 bagger.
All their mates need that.
100%. We were getting kicked off the racetrack with our race bike because it was pissing so much oil, and we switched over to one of those and it shut it down. Yeah, it cured that problem.
Yeah.
Definitely a good thing to have. If you guys ride an M8, you know they spray oil. It's like a nice sprinkler system out of your air filter. What's the name?
Checkmate.
Checkmate. Trask Checkmate. Check it out. It's available at cruisyoriginals.com.
This is where we make all our exhaust systems. So they're all handmade, CNC mandrel bent, and all our exhaust systems made of stainless steel. Should the stealth pipe off your bike.
I can't weld that good. This is all the real heavy fab stuff on the bikes and stuff.
Oh, we don't do it as much.
Really?
No, not many of it. Yeah. Pipes are all the same. There's no crinkling, there's no nothing.
Everything's dead on.
But the machine ain't worth a unless you got a good operator. Back in the day, Ryan used to run that one.
I used to run this thing a long time ago. Yeah, more primitive version. This was a big deal when you got this though. Remember, that was a real big deal. That came into the shop because it was all hand cranking before that. I used to stand in front of a vise with those handlebars clamped in the vise and a grinder in my hand for so long that I wouldn't be able to, my hands wouldn't stop vibrating for, days at a time. Just grind and grind. Used to have to grind the reliefs into the metal just to fit the master cylinder. That was all hand ground by me back in the day.
Turn you hold a grinder all day long.
Yeah.
He whiz grinders out.
Don't give a shit.
You got one forearm there, this thing around.
Oh yeah, the other one's a pencil.
Hours.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, my hand goes like. One of the last things I want to show you guys, what Trask is really passionate about, and that's helping kids and helping animals. I don't really like people that much. I like dogs and animals and kids. Came with a shirt, and all proceeds for the shirt go to Space Ghost Frenchie basically, and it says F you, I like dogs.
Yes, dude.
Well done.
F you, I like dogs. That's beautiful.
Not one penny goes to me. I give it all the foundation for Frenchie Rescue.
That's beautiful. These on Trask.com?
Yeah.
Trask.com. F you, I like dogs.
Trask Performance.
I mean, you really can't go wrong with that's about as cool of a shirt as it gets right there. And a good cause. That's beautiful.
The money's going to a good cause, yeah. And the other stuff we do is if you're on your way Checkmate, a portion of that money goes to BAB, Bikers Against Bullies.
Got to return a little bit when you start making it, and that's awesome. TraskPerformance.com. Go get your badass dog shirts out there. Go support a good cause.
I've got 2 Frenchies,
Yeah?
Carlos and Turbo.
Carlos and Turbo.
Carlos?
Yeah.
What was the other little one that was here
That
yesterday?
was Roxy and Speedo.
What are they?
Lassapoos.
Oh yeah. So you know you could make fun of me for having a multi-poo.
I love them.
You got one of them designer breeds too. They're just no. I love the little snuggly little sons. First time my wife brought home one, I've always had labs and stuff growing up. She brought home one of them dogs. I was like, I swear to God, you bring that dog home, I'm throwing it over the fence. And then it got in my lap, and I went, oh man.
I'll kill everything that comes near it.
It's my dog now. Oh yeah. I got this little thing that sleeps in my armpit every single night with her little pink blanket, you know, and she's my little princess. Well, I mean, update on Dyno closing, it made 155 and 155. Like, for starters to be square like that is unreal. That thing's gonna pull really, 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 really hard. It's gonna make a whole lot of power, and that's just the beginning. We're gonna make a whole lot more power. So like, subscribe, go check out Trask Performance. If you're gonna make some performance stuff, you're gonna get something tuned, or you wanna get into something boosted and get really crazy, they are the spot to do it. Let's go, 155 horsepower.
That was great.
These are awesome.
That's not what I expected.
That's f***ing awesome.
That's not what I expected at all.
No, I thought like maybe a motorcycle and a dog or something like that, and you're all, it says f*** you, I like dogs.